Now, in terms of everyone who hasn't necessarily gotten as far as the people who are trying to drop off their ballots in Texas right now, and good luck if you're in Houston, because that's gonna be a long line, maybe tens of thousands of people long. What if you're just trying to register? Because there are deadlines for that. A lot of states have decided that you shouldn't be able to register the day of the election because they don't want you to vote, basically, and they want to make it difficult. So let's take a look at how it's been going on in a number of different states. In Virginia, breaking news this morning, an accidentally cut cable has caused the entire Virginia voter registration online system to go down on the last day to register to vote before election day. But don't worry, I'm sure they're gonna find the culprit, the rat who chewed through that cable. And I'm sure they're gonna extend the deadline to make up for the fact that people's ability to do so is taken away. What do you think, Adrian?
You know what? I love how that language is used, accidentally. It's like, how do you accidentally cut a cable that would essentially make this entire voting system go down? Yeah, right. Somebody structured this, of course, because it seems that the agenda has and always will be to suppress the vote. And there are a lot of people who are waiting to the last minute to vote. And those are generally the individuals who are most likely to be subject to oppression because they didn't have the information or the opportunities before to register to vote. And it's just more unfortunate aspects of our system and how it does not operate as it purports to operate.
Exactly, and look, that's the most suspicious news I've ever seen in my life, that it just accidentally got cut or something. But let's say it is an accident. Who cares? Extend the deadline anyway. It doesn't matter. Like, it's definitely not an accident, but even if it is, people deserve the amount of time that they were supposed to be given to register. If that time has been taken away, it needs to be given again, especially when it may be an accident of the cable cutter variety in Virginia, but it's not working in other ones. I mean, if we jump ahead to Florida, the voter registration system crashed on the last day for filing. Pennsylvania's voter services website went down over the weekend as the deadline for mail ballots loomed. Now, in those cases, let me be super nice and optimistic and say that it's just that a lot of people are trying to register and the system went down. Okay, this is why we're supposed to fund these things, so that they're robust and can take the added interest that we've known for 6 months there's gonna be because of a pandemic. And again, regardless of whether it's intentional that these systems have crashed, or an actual accident, or if somebody stepped on a cable or knocked over a filing cabinet or whatever it is, you then have to extend the deadline so that people get the same amount of time. I don't think that that's unreasonable to request.
Nope, I don't think that it's unreasonable either. I just wish that the system operated as it purports to operate, by actually wanting people to vote, and it does not. It wants to keep this system we have set up. So we kind of have this oligarchy where we got these people in power who are truly ruling us, and they don't want us peasants voting. No.
Yeah, we also have, I wanna give a quick update to a story we talked about yesterday. Yesterday, we talked about the fact that the California GOP had placed a number of ballot drop-off boxes that they're not legally allowed to do. They have to be official ballot drop-off boxes placed by the county voting affairs office. They just put their own, and so that news broke. Since then, they've confirmed that it's theirs. And they have heard the California Secretary of State's warning that this is a violation of state law and said, cool, we're still doing it. They're just gonna keep doing this thing that they're admitting they did that is illegal, because they wanna mess with the vote. Again, I don't even think that that's gonna be a very effective way to mess with the vote, but that's what they're doing. They've admitted it's them. They know that it's against the law, and they're just gonna keep doing it because we have one party that sort of mostly wants to try to get people to vote for them, tries to be persuasive, kind of in a really bad ways with huge blind sides and all that. And then one side that's just like, we're gonna stop people from voting. That's what we're gonna do. We're gonna do it in ways that are legal, ways that are illegal. We're gonna do whatever we want to make it so as few people as possible vote. And that's what we're seeing. In this segment, we've got California, Pennsylvania, Virginia, you know what, God knows, Texas, all over the map. They're making it as hard as possible for people to actually vote.
Yep, and it's the thing that gets me the most is that we know that they put all these efforts in to disenfranchise people and to take away their opportunity to vote. And they continue to do it in part because there are no consequences for it. You rarely ever hear people getting prosecuted for trying to suppress the vote. And that is the biggest problem in my eyes, because we continue to hear this rhetoric about people voting twice and oh my gosh, there's going to be so much fraud in voting. Why don't we focus on people suppressing votes and putting out these efforts like the GOP in California are doing to try to essentially seize other people's votes and to get in the way of their efforts? Let's focus on penalizing that behavior when we know that is statistically far more likely to happen and continues to happen.
Exactly. If their willingness to admit that they're doing it, which someone on Twitch called, they're not admitting it, they're bragging. Yeah, that's because they know who gets in trouble for this. There was that woman in Texas, I believe, who's like, she was sentenced to 5 years for accidentally voting in the wrong county or whatever when she wasn't supposed to. But the people who just every election, you've probably seen it. They send out, they'll go to Houston or something and be like, a lot of interest in the election this year, so we're gonna have to stagger it. Republicans vote on Tuesday, Democrats vote on Wednesday. They do that every single year, everywhere across the country. Nobody goes to jail. That's why they keep doing it, because nobody goes to jail. We don't even have the money to protect the wires from being cut. I guess we don't have any enforcement authority to throw people in jail. But if on November 4th of every election, we were to do a long roundup of all of the people who are gonna be spending the next decade in jail for trying to rig an election, maybe that would stop a little bit of it from happening. That would be nice. Probably not gonna happen though. For more political news breakdowns, interviews, stories of activism, and me trying my hardest to care about the occasional big celebrity news story, subscribe to our YouTube channel at youtube.com/thedamagereport. And you can ring the bell wherever it is so you don't miss anything.